This is problem number 5 from section 4.2 in our calculus books. It says that we need to find out whether this function satisfies the mean value theorem. Well, let's take a look at the function inverse sine. Okay, we know that sine kind of goes up and down like this, so inverse sine is going to be the reflection of that. This tops out at 1, so this is going to go to 1 like that, up to pi over 2, goes down like this from -1, and then pi over 2. Okay, so what do we need to know about this function in order to say that the mean value theorem? Well, it needs to be needs to be continuous on the domain, and it is. It needs to be differentiable on the open interval, and it is. And so we should be able to then solve for the value c that satisfies the mean value theorem. Well, let's go ahead. F prime, or f prime of x, as we found out earlier, is 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared. We also know that f of 1 is equal to pi over 2. F of -1 is equal to pi over 2. And so here's what we end up getting when we put all these pieces together. 1 over the square root of 1 minus c squared is equal to pi over 2 minus a minus pi over 2. And that's all over 1 minus a minus 1. Or this is pi over 2. Add those two, get pi. Add those two and get 2. And so now the question is, can we find a value c that satisfies that equation? Well, let's square both sides of that equation and see what we get. I'm going to pull it up here, and I'm going to end up with 1 over 1 minus c squared is equal to pi squared over 2 squared. And then let's do a little cross multiplication, and I'm going to get 4 over pi squared is equal to 1 minus c squared, or 4 over pi squared minus 1 is equal to negative c squared, which leads to 1 minus 4 over pi squared is equal to c squared, which leads us to that c is equal to plus or minus the square root of 1 minus 4 squared, or 4 over 2 pi. Now, what we can do at this point is we can try to confirm that on the calculator. Let's go ahead and try that. Let me bring up the calculator. Let me get it over the way here, and I'm going to put into y1 my my derivative function, 1 divided by the square root of 1 minus x squared. And again, I'm interested and I'm going to find out when is it equal to pi over 2. So let me zoom normal. And we can see that here's the derivative curve, and here's the pi over 2, and it indeed hits twice, as we expect because we have a plus or minus there. Let me zoom in. So there's the derivative curve, there's the pi over 2 curve, and let me go ahead and say second calc, and let's find out where the intersection of the curve with this other curve, and move over here, and we get about 0.771. And then let's go ahead and try and see what this expression is and see if it's about the same. Second square root 1 minus, oops, that's not 1. 1 minus 4 divided by pi squared. And you can see that it's the same thing. So it's pretty clear that you're going to end up getting the same answer. So the values C, the two values C that satisfy the mean value theorem are plus or minus the square root of 1 minus 4 over pi squared.